Good evening. My name is Rosa. I look at the Sports Maestro. I've got Sally Ibrahim, the Bracadabra Sports, and CJ the Maestro with me on the show this evening. Let's get started and let's start from the just concluded Aisha Buhari Cup. After that game yesterday, the sports minister Sunday Dare, who has always encouraged sportsmen and women to give their best, and he has also been trying to calm them down whenever they had, negative performances and all that, disappointing results and all. But yesterday, he spoke to the players and he charged them to bounce back from this and also to learn after that defeat. And like we said in the morning, football is no longer as usual. Things have changed. We have to change alongside them. So I think this is really, really good from the sports minister. Since he was appointed, he has been doing these kind of things before and after tournaments.
Well, I think we expected something like this from the sports minister. Of course, we know how it is. When you hit a child with right hand, you try as much as possible to, bring the child back with your left hand. So, we have complained. We've raised our voice to say, look, that sort of a performance from the Super Falcons is unacceptable. I mean, okay, we can lose any other team, but not South Africa. You know how it is. Being beaten by your, they are not our rivals. By your rivals. Right there in Lagos is shameful, and it's of course something that is unacceptable. But like the sports minister has said, you have to learn from things like this. You've got to learn from this situation. You now know what is expected of you, and then the level you have to raise the game. Well, good news is that it's not the kind of match that we lose and then we lose a huge thing from, even though it was a defeat, but there was nothing at stake. Let's just say it the way it is. What is at stake for us is in the next few months we're going to play against Ghana. It's of course a double header for the African Women's Cup of Nations, qualifiers, and of course when you do so well at the Ocon, you get to qualify for the World Cup. So that's a match we have got to. It's a double header we've got to take really serious. I'm glad this happened against South Africa in a tournament of this magnitude. So we now know that okay, we've actually not been working. Maybe the other countries have been catching up with us, but we've somehow been a bit stagnated. So hopefully in the coming months we would see the Super Falcons bounce back from this huge mistake, or I also call it an error from the team and also from the technical crew of the Super Eagles. Sometimes you look at the Super Falcons, excuse me. Sometimes you talk about the Super Falcons and you look at them as a unit that should be better coached. The NFF a few years ago decided to make a U-turn on employing local-based coaches. I think after Florence Obabemi handled the team, led them to the African Women's Cup of Nations title. They decided to say, okay, look, I think we've had enough dominance in terms of, the continent. We want to take our game to the rest of the world. They decided to bring in Thomas Denaby. He was there for a few years, and I wasn't particularly. I would tell you that I wasn't really impressed by what Thomas Denaby did with the Super Falcons, even though he won the African Women's Cup of Nations with them. Of course, we know how many we've won before he came in, so I would not say he did so well with them. It was more like they say that's more like the barest minimum that you can do with the Super Falcons of Nigeria. And then after him, a brief stint we had Christopher Danjuma on the interim capacity. Well, he couldn't qualify us for the Olympics, and then after that we got Randy Wardrum, someone who we at least expected to take the Super Falcons game to the next phase of it. And you look at what we've done now in the last few months. I think he was with us in February when we went to Turkey to take part at that invitational tournament, and then a few months later we're in the United States of America to take part in that mini tournament. Absolutely, we didn't do so well there, and then again we're back for the Aisha Buhari Cup, and you look at our performances at that tournament, you can tell yourself that we're not really improving. I'm not going to say he's a bad coach. He needs time to work with the players, but it's obvious, like we said in the morning, that some players will have to excuse us, for other players to of course come in and then take up their roles. Some players have obviously overstayed their welcome, or the coach will have a huge decision to make in terms of who to invite from now on and who not to invite. It's obvious we're done with certain people. Let's bring in fresh legs to try and then alter the system a bit and then get quality results for the Super Falcons.
I think this desire to bring in fresh legs and the rush to label some players tired legs has cost us dearly in the past. So I think we should be careful how we quickly get rid of some players who have served us very well. I want to leave it to the coach. If the coach decides that some players are too old for him, then let him have the free hands to ask those players to leave. But when there seems to be a deliberate attempt to get some players out of the team, we saw the statement that was issued after the game, purportedly from an official of the NFF, and it didn't go down well with many sports journalists, and they've been calling out the people who did that, because you cannot single out a player and then you are saying that the player missed chance after chance after chance. Where were the good chances did Nigeria create? No, seriously. Even the second goal that we scored yesterday, it was out of nothing. We just thought the player was just moving with the ball, and then she decided to take a shot, and it beat goalkeeper Swartz, who was in goal for South Africa flat. You know, and I didn't see those chances that were created. I didn't see what Aziza Oshoala played. So I do not even understand why you criticize Desire Paranaze and you leave out Aziza Oshoala. If you want to criticize the entire team and say, look, the team played absolutely rubbish and all that, I may have some issues to say, no, you don't criticize a team like this. But it's even worse when you select one player, as if she was the one who was conceding all the goals. We had Onome Ebi. She
caused the handball.
Yeah,
but
yes,
but that was unacceptable. Where her hand was.
I understand. But are you just going to try with it? We waxed lyrical about Thiago Silva. Thiago Silva is 37. Onome Ebi is that age. So are we going to say? We know that in women's football, they tend to last longer. Our greatest player, and I think maybe the greatest African player at the moment, what's this guy's name now? Perpetua Nkwacha. Who played until she was in her late 30s for the Super Falcons, and she did very, very well. She was scoring goals that even younger ones could not score. We saw Abby Wambach in the United States of America. Carly Lloyd. So many of them. Yeah. So many of them. Before all of these players that we're even talking about, there used to be Michelle Akers. Michelle Akers was in the 1991 World Cup and was also in the 1995 World Cup and in the 1999 World Cup. She started as a striker. Then as she grew older, she began to play the midfield, and I think she even ended her career in the defense. So what are we talking about? We have had many players who have done well despite their age. Mata for crying out loud. Mata of Brazil. She's still playing consistently amongst the best players in the world. So why are we in such a hurry to get rid of our players that we deem to be old and all of that? So if the coach decides that, okay, this is what I want, these players are too old for me, fine, no problem. You can ask whoever you want to get out of the team. But I think that we have a system that can consistently produce the very best players. So when you have a situation where your team is, you can see that it's not growing, then you've got to ask what is the problem. Is it the personnel, the playing personnel, or is it the tactics that you are deploying? Maybe that's what is the issue. We analyzed Desiree Ennis of South Africa yesterday, and what she did, she said, look, we just need to play to our strength. Our strength is move the ball, keep the ball on the ground, and move it quicker. And that was what happened. That was what bamboozled the Nigerian team. And they forced Nigeria to play the way they wanted, and they were still playing exactly the way they wanted to play. We saw what Linda Matolo and Temi Gatlana did to our team. We just had absolutely no answer to them. Maybe that's the kind of thing that Rashida Ajibade will have brought into the team. You know, so we've still got, there were some players that didn't play in this competition, and did not even play in the match yesterday. So maybe we can look at that and say, okay, if we bring in all of these players, then we will have a very strong team. But we said thank you to the Honorable Minister. That's what you do when your team is not performing well, or your team did not perform well in a game. Not that you single out a player and then you trash her before the whole world. There should be words of encouragement. Look, these guys they are used to winning. They've won several times. As somebody even said when they sent us a text in the morning, yes, let them win all the friendly trophies. Let them win whatever. When it comes to the African Women Cup of Nations, Nigeria will beat them. Well, but honestly, the way it is going, if we do not improve, then South Africa are going to beat us again. that victory over Nigeria yesterday was no fluke. Seriously, it was no fluke. They deserved it. They deserved to beat Nigeria by that scoreline. They trashed Ghana 3-0. So they could
They did score twice. Ghana did not score
they
at all.
would do it to Nigeria. And I think we have seen it in the past. We've seen that they have improved tremendously in the way they play the game. So maybe those are the kind of things that we should be looking at. So Godfrey Oyema.
Yeah, FPC.
And what's his first name now?
Yeah, Allen.
Alan
Alan,
who gave money to the team. Well done. He did it with the men, and now he's doing it with the women. At least it tells them that they are appreciated. People see what they have done over the years, and they really say thank you. And in fact, the Super Falcons should be honored more than the Super Eagles in Nigeria,
Of course.
because of what they've been able to do. This is what happened yesterday, or what has happened in recent years. It's not what we want. It's not where we want to be, but we can accept it, learn from it, and move on. It just tells us, I think we should be a clear warning to Nigeria that you cannot afford to be complacent. You cannot afford to rest on your ass. You cannot afford to be stagnant. You've got to keep improving. You cannot say, oh, there is no team in Africa that is close to Nigeria in terms of women football. You've got to keep improving. In the past, our local coaches were accused of not really coaching the girls. They said they just tell them, any new coach. When I remember saying, I'll be defending champion, so don't be for my hand, this team will spoil. That's what they were telling them when they went to the African Women Cup.
Wow.
And the girls basically would not go and win the trophy until we didn't win it twice, and then we had to strategize and everything. So maybe that's why the NFF is looking at bringing foreign coaches. But honestly, I've not seen much improvement since this foreign coaches have come.
Yeah.
I have not seen it. Yeah, you might say, okay, and the last World Cup, we got to the round of 16. We've not been able to get to the round of to go past the first round since 1999. So it was a sort of improvement, but I really have not seen what we've done, because we have said Africa is not our problem. We know we will dominate Africa. Even if you put Sani Ibrahim to manage the team, we will win in Africa. We want to go and conquer the world, but now we can't even conquer Africa anymore. So we've got to ask ourselves some serious questions.
All right, Lori Senator, as far as Allen Oyema is concerned, because that is the official headline of the Nigerian national teams, and he has also done his own parts by giving them 20 million. All right, the same chance to Allen Oyema. Let's go on this commercial break. Once we return from this break, then we'll head to Europe and we'll talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. At 36, still doing well on the pitch, and his account is still lovely. Still right here.
Milo!
Hello, give me Milo, please. 2 sachets. Okay. Are you sure you don't want to try something else? This something else, does it have Active Go? Active Go. Active Go, that mix of protobolt, minerals, and vitamins. Proto what? Look, it's okay. Just give me my Milo, because things that I buy for my kids, I don't compromise one bit.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go, with the goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
Uncle Dentist, what be cavities and how Colgate take they protect my teeth from cavities? Shey they use comfort?
No dear, na home for teeth they cause most toothpaste will be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, take brush every day. The confirmed formula could help keep natural calcium inside our teeth. It could protect them from tooth decay.
Time don't reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate. Because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
And the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
The big leagues are back, and DSTV is the only place you can watch it all. Enjoy live matches weekly from the best leagues in the world. We're talking the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Champions League, not to mention the return of the Europa League. That's Salah, Kane, Haaland, Bruno, Lukaku, Suarez, Messi, and CR7.
Oh my goodness!
All week, every week.
You're just lost for words!
Nothing beats the unbeatable football on DSTV.
Indomie welcomes you back to school. Have a session filled with lots of fun and excitement. Stay safe, Stay healthy. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
You don't hear of OPay debit card? The debit card for the young generation. The young people dey live for inside Nigeria. This OPay debit card gets better, sweet things with it for inside. You fit get more than 15% yearly interest wey they go dey pay for inside your wallet every day on top your savings. No be only that one though. You fit get cash back every month. All your transfers go be free of charge and nobody go charge you for card maintenance. It makes sense, abi? No be all be that o. You go fit also get access to up to 40,000 naira credit balance to pay for all your gbese. So wetin you dey wait for? Apply for the OPay debit card or you go download the OPay app or visit any of the OPay agents wey dey close to you. Download OPay sharp make yourself begin to dey enjoy plenty berekete benefits. The OPay app dey available on top Google Play Store and even on top App Store. Terms and conditions apply sha o.
The ancient city of Benin is at it again. The Edo State capital is set to host the maiden edition of the Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament. 12 top-graded professional women football clubs across Nigeria are expected to trade tackles, which includes our own Edo Queens Football Club in this initiative of Her Excellency Betsy Obaseki, aimed at promoting female football and empowering our girls against human trafficking and other forms of gender-based violence. The football contest will run from September 26th to October 4th, 2021. 4 venues are slated to host the tournament, with finals taking place at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium on the 3rd of October. Other venues are Univent Sports Complex, Western Boys High School, and School of Health Technology. This pre-season football tournament promises to be another extravaganza. Be there. Note, COVID-19 protocols will be strictly observed in all the venues. Signed, Media and Communications Committee.
Welcome back, and in case you're just joining us, it's Sports Fiesta reaching you live on 92.7 KFM down here in Benin City. We told you before we went to the break what the Sports Minister told the guests and how he charged them to bounce back from that defeat, and also the 20 million that was given to them by Allen Oyema, Chairman CEO of EPIS, the official airline of Nigerian national teams. Now let's move abroad and let's talk about the unstoppable Ronaldo. For Forbes, they have rated 36-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo as the highest paid footballer in 2021, with Egypt and Liverpool's attacker Mo Salah emerging fit. For Ronaldo, he knocked out Lionel Messi from the #1 spot after the 34-year-old left Barcelona to join Paris Saint-Germain. To get the official pay of the footballer, Forbes said to compare their list, quoting Forbes, to compare our list, we spoke with clubs, players, agents, commercial sponsors, and worldwide soccer experts. All figures are converted to US dollars using the current exchange rate and include salaries for the 2021-2022 season. Bonuses and endorsements, transfer fees are excluded. So for Ronaldo, he will earn $125 million before taxes in the 2021-2022 season, with $70 million coming from salary and bonus for his return to Manchester United. The rest comes from personal endorsements and partnerships with brands, including some of the biggest brands, Nike, Herbalife, and others. So that is how it is at the moment. And from Lionel Messi, it will be paid $75 million this season, helping put him at #2 on the list with $110 million. This is really huge. But we'll give you the names of the top 10. But right now, these two guys, they are on a different par. But we've got Neymar on 10. But what's your take on Ronaldo overtaking Messi once again?
It's a lot of money. I mean, these guys, they know how to exchange #1, #2, on this list, and then every other list as well, because it's not just about the highest earners. Now we know how it is. Ronaldo gets this, and then you talk about number of free kicks, that have been scored, number of hat tricks, number of penalties. The list is endless. I think I'm enjoying the rivalry. It's now, the rivalry has now, gone to a different level. Now we're talking about the monetary rivalry, which is a positive thing for us here. Well, Lionel Messi earns more salary than Ronaldo, but Ronaldo, when you of course put everything together, when you talk about endorsements, talk about salary, he has of course more endorsements compared to Lionel Messi's endorsement. So Well, actually, I don't like calculating another man's money, but then we're in the business of looking at things like this, so we've got to talk about it. But it's not about Ronaldo in any way.
Yeah, for Cristiano Ronaldo, probably the biggest brand, sporting brand in the world among those that are still active, and that's why it was such a big deal for him to get the jersey number 7. But I know he would have had absolutely no choice if Edison Cavani had not given it up, because his brand is CR7. So when you talk of somebody that big brands just want to associate with, then you understand the power that Cristiano Ronaldo has. When he puts away 2 bottles of Coca-Cola that were put before him at Euro 2020, we heard that the stock went down. They lost about $4 billion because of that act that he did, and he was endorsing water that do not drink this, go ahead and drink water. And many criticize him for that, he should not have said that, all of that. But he's somebody that in terms of his marketability, he gets in Instagram, I learned he's got more followers than any other person on the planet, and so he is one of the most famous persons in the world. So apart from what he earns as a footballer, he earns elsewhere, just like David Beckham. When he was playing, he was such a huge brand. So it's no surprise that he's top of this list.
All right, looking at the numbers, let's quickly just give them to you. Cristiano Ronaldo is 91.5 million pounds, which is $125 million. Lionel Messi 80.5 million pounds, and Neymar sits at third, 69.5 million pounds, while you have Kylian Mbappe 31.5 million pounds. For Mohamed Salah, 30 million pounds. Robert Lewandowski, the guy who won the European Golden Shoe, is worth 26 million pounds. Andres Iniesta, wow, fantastic midfielder for Barca in his playing days, 26 million. Then Paul Pogba 25 million. Gareth Bale 23.5 million. Then Eden Hazard 21 million pounds. So that's the top 10 as far as highest earners in football as far as they are concerned. Okay, talking about the game yesterday, 2 days ago, where Barcelona played at a 1-0 draw. For the manager, the pressure is on him right now, and we hear that for him to be sacked, Barca will have to cough about $12 to $16 million. I remember they are having a financial crisis at the moment, but Laporta is still trying to find out if Roberto Martinez will be able to, take over from him. But for Martinez right now, he is the current manager of Belgian national team. So for Ronald Koeman, he refused to answer any questions in his latest press conference, but called for fans to be patient. And the Barca other pressure coach delivered a short, prepared the statement before leaving the press conference. I think we as journalists, sometimes once you are having issues like this, yes, we tend to ask questions about the future and how to revive or transform the club once again, because the Barca we knew before is not the Barca we are seeing at the moment. But it's as if he's unhappy, although most of the things that happened when he took over, the board gave him the opportunity, the chance to do that. They gave him the chance to call Luis Suarez, and it did not last up to 90 minutes. It was on phone that Suarez's future was sorted out and other things that happened. But right now, the blame is on him, and he's saying, I have to make do with what I have, and there's nothing he can do right now except if things change. But the way he left the press without answering them, that is disrespectful to journalists, because yes, it's his obligation, although I know they are not going to find him right now to query him for doing that, but as a professional manager, whether you are losing or you are winning, in difficult situations or good situations, I think it's good for you to talk to press. Yes, we know some of them ask serious questions, some kind of funny questions, but I think he should have spoken to the press instead of walking out on them.
Yeah, he should have. He should have spoken to the press. I mean, what would he even tell his own player if he walks out on the press? What sort of advice would he give such a player? Sometimes coaches have got to manage anger, even though you ask a question that you may not like to answer. You can say, I don't have answers to that. Nobody will kill you. And you sit down there and then answer some more questions, because you're allowing the press to get into your head. I love him to convert this anger into results, at Barcelona, because they need it currently. They do. I mean, you can't imagine a club like Barcelona drawing, I think, at home to Granada. That's a 1-1 draw. And then we saw them the other time losing the Champions League to Bayern Munich at home. And they lost in a scandalous manner. So, reality is that Barcelona are no longer the team they used to be. But then he is the man who is doing the job now. He's the one we are looking at. If the results are not going well, we'll have to ask him, coach, why is it that the team is not doing well? And he's got to answer. Of course, he's the head coach of the team, or he's the manager of the team. You cannot come and ask me why the team is not playing well. I don't do the 4-4-2 formation. I don't coach the team on the training ground. I don't, of course, coach the team on a match day basis. So if results are not coming, coach, what is the problem? Why is
we understand some of their key players are on the treatment table, but he would have also spoken to the press to say, yes, we are having issues with some of our players right now. Sergio Kun Aguero has not played. Ansu Fati has been given the number 10 fine. He's still on the treatment table. He's not fit right now to play another. But he should have spoken to the press. But he left a statement for the fans and all that, telling them they are rebuilding and all that. But I just hope that
if you're rebuilding, he was there last season, and I believe he signed is that 2 or 3 years contract at Barcelona when he came in. Remember, when he came in, he didn't just want to see Luis Suarez, because some persons felt, the former board felt, that Luis Suarez was too good to play for Barcelona. And guess what? At the start of the last summer transfer window, guess what? They bought Sergio Aguero on a free transfer. Also, maybe the same age bracket with Luis Suarez.
Did you know why it was not done? Yeah,
if you even look at the age bracket, they said not much. So I'm thinking you don't let, there are certain players that when you look at them at the club, you say, this one, we need this one to stay at the club. If Suarez as a leader or one of the leaders in that team were to be in Barcelona currently, I'm sure maybe they would have been challenging teams. May not be up there, but then you can have a player that you look up to say, okay, this guy can get you the goals. And from what I'm looking at, in terms of the striking department of Barcelona, the only player I can look at and say this guy can get you a goal or two in a match has to be Memphis Depay. For the rest, I'm not so sure about their quality. It's not like I doubt what they can do, but you look at Barcelona, they look like, majority of those guys, they look like a bunch of average players. And we're talking about Barcelona here. So the coach has got to sit back and, of course, look at what is not working for the team. And they try to turn the results around. What we hear from the grapevine is that Barcelona are looking at replacing him, and the moment they get a manager that will replace him, they will sack him. That's what we're getting. So he has to give reasons why he should not be sacked. It's not like a man who his own job is under the line.
I think the reason why they have not fired him is that they don't have the money to pay him off. Because even his agent was not happy. He said when Laporta had a meeting with Ronald Koeman, he was basically telling him that Ronald Koeman should give him 2 weeks to see if he can get a replacement for him. And the agent said it was like somebody telling you, I want to marry you, but give me 2 weeks to see if I can get someone who's better than you. Now, if I get that person, then I'll marry the person and forget you. But if not, then I'll come back and marry you. No problem.
That was how he sums it up.
So I think the other reason why they are keeping him is just because they do not have the money to pay him. Otherwise, they will have fired him. But now I'm wondering, so why did they extend the contract when they knew that they may not want him for a very long time, especially with all the issues that they have been having. And so that's just what the issues I have with the whole thing. But it's really sad the way things have turned out.
All right, before we throw the phone lines upon, let's talk about athletics. Kenya marathon runner Mary Ketani, she has announced her retirement at the age of 39 because of a back injury. Wow, if not for the back injury, I'm sure she would have also continued to run till her 40s. Well, she holds the world record for a women-only marathon with a time of 2 hours, 17 minutes and 1 second, which she set when winning her 3rd London Marathon in 2017. She also won the New York Marathon on 4 occasions. Quoting her, said, now is the time to say goodbye, if only as an elite runner to the sport I love so much, as she said. I think time to begin and the time to call it quit. But one would say she hasn't done well. She has done really, really well, and if not for the back injury, think at 39. Wow. She would have loved to keep on running. Well, our first global success came in 2007 when she won an individual silver and team gold at the World Half Marathon Championships. And a year after the birth of her first child in 2008, she claimed the World Half Marathon title in Birmingham, England. Her efforts also helped Kenya win the team title once again. So we wish her all the best. She has so much when it comes to athletics. All right, correct us right now on 07062639275, 09039394427, and 08121789154. SMS line 08074009076. Keep the calls coming. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Good evening. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good evening.
Yeah, can you hear me?
It's Bragadabra International. I greet you. International. This is Nigeria.
Go ahead, greet on us.
Yeah, I greet you all for the good job. I don't have much to say, but if Barcelona can sack somebody that is winning, or that even in the position, I don't know what is Arsenal management are waiting for.
He hasn't been sacked. He's still the manager of
Arsenal.
Ronald Koeman hasn't been sacked, but it's looking likely that it could be sacked before the end of before.
I don't know what Arteta is doing. He's struggling to score one goal.
He has one.
And sometimes everybody said a champion need to score one goal, but Arsenal is not a champion. He struggle and he's the same Norwich that was for beat us from the away to win 3-1. So I don't know what happened. What happened yesterday? So I cannot understand why our guests should lose to South Africa. It's a high time NFF should come back home, go back to their roots and employ our guests. We know this guest very well. We know the terrain, how to do this guest. It's not by foreign. It's not by foreign. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's take this. Hello. Good evening, my brother.
Yeah,
good evening, welcome.
this is David. I'm calling from Upper.
David from Upper, okay.
Yeah. First of all, let me talk about Nigerian football. I think it's that time that the people in charge of especially football in Nigeria know that this is someone when we're talking about Nigeria is the giant of Africa when it comes to football. As other countries are developing now, I think Nigeria should also, at least, Nigeria is just to put a little more effort because they have been doing well. As South Africa, Ghana, and all other countries are developing. I don't want the situation whereby the next few years, Nigeria will not become a story that I have it before. We have been running before. So as this country are coming up, look at a country like Morocco. Now, they are trying to do something. At the moment, North Africans took over women football also in Africa. That is over. So, let the NFF, the people in charge of football in Nigeria, let them put their house in order and take every available thing that the Super Falcons need. We want to continue seeing the girls moving forward. Now they even have somebody that can sponsor them and all other things. But other countries are coming forward.
Thank you. Hello? Okay, that's the key for us to go on this commercial. We'll be right back.
The ancient city of Benin is at it again. The Edo State capital is set to host the maiden edition of the Betsy Obaseki Women Football Tournament. 12 top-graded professional women football clubs across Nigeria are expected to trade tackles, which includes our own Edo Queens Football Club in this initiative of Her Excellency Betsy Obaseki, aimed at promoting female football and empowering our girls against human trafficking and other forms of gender-based violence. The football contest will run from September September 26th to October 4th, 2021. 4 venues are slated to host the tournament, with finals taking place at the Samuel Ogbomudia Stadium on the 3rd of October. Other venues are Univent Sports Complex, Western Boys High School, and School of Health Technology. This pre-season football tournament promises to be another extravaganza. Be there. Note, COVID-19 protocols will be strictly observed in all the venues. Signed, Media and Communications Committee.
Let's take some more calls before we talk about looking at your messages. Meanwhile, you can start sending your messages because we'll take a look at them after the calls. Hello. Danjuma, all the way from Auchi. You're welcome.
Yeah, well done.
You're welcome.
Guys, keep the calls coming, and the numbers to call are 0706-263-9275, 090-3939-4427, 081-2178-9154. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, and
yeah, BFI.
Welcome. Very quickly, what happened to Aguero? What is in Barcelona?
Aguero is not fit enough to start now.
Not fit enough to start, but
he's injured. He's not fit.
Okay.
They have young players up front. If Aguero is there, at least it poses a threat, but he has not started playing.
Yes, I think Aguero is a threat. I mean, it's one of the tactical for really fighters to say with playing time. This issue of Nigerian fans. Now, I see when we have a local coach, we don't get a foreign coach. We have a foreign coach. We don't get to this club and get the back to a local coach. I like good football. You know, you see good football. So it's I really love that match. But what you see, analysis, the big Ghana, like he said, not very just like what they think they actually deserve. They the better thing. Like what Doctor said this morning, I followed up and he said, Shona was not maybe, like he said, maybe he's not getting the right position. You know, maybe it could be a factor. That's why Africa got things. So, a good team for me, I'm not really a good team, even though at times, out of sentiment, you want the team to win. But sometimes a good win, you know, this is a good result is that. Why is not a good win? Let it be. Good football is there. So, Venezuela right now, we should get it right. Go to the box here. I think they are boys in the field. They are putting Messi and Ronaldo in the ring. In a good state, North Central and North South. You can get, Benin, but like I say, you just start calling them the Benin Chelsea or Benin Man, not Benin Arsenal for now, so that we can get back. Later, it's busy matches and start calling Arsenal. Maybe that Arsenal name will be used as a factor because the state government is doing well and all that kind of stuff. So let's just try this and see how it works. Well done.
All right, thank you, Kingsley. Hello. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Victory, I guess.
Welcome, Victory.
really disappointing because I felt that they had everything to defeat South Africa. Although I'm not that surprised, but if you want the 2018 Cup of Nations with the South Africa in the final, you see that they defeated the South Africans by the sake of luck. They should really step up because South Africa came down to a pitch and dictated the pace and controlled the just followed their lead throughout the game. And that's they're losing the 1 minute or 2 1, they're losing 4-2. All the same, I really don't detect going forward. And for Chelsea tonight, they shouldn't just say that they defeated Aston Villa 2 minutes better than them. When they go and another competition, they should take it seriously and even the best of luck. You don't become that season like maybe somehow like state, but I think they should take it calmly and get the win. Without that, I think that American football league player, that guy that should be moved from where they go. Think that what he's doing now.
The guy that did the what?
To be moving the national team.
Okay,
I think it's now that the Robert something, I think it's time to influence, and then his contract was terminated.
No, it's not played for some time now. He even sued. I think they found a way to settle that, but he didn't go back to football.
Then the last game, you told us we were going to check if Italia and Spanish were eligible to play for Nigeria. We didn't go for Nigeria.
We spoke about it though. We did.
Yeah. No, we were looking at the number of matches that they played and the age that they were.
Yeah, you said you confirmed.
Yeah, they were both 23. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they can actually switch allegiance back. But I think we saw that day that
Tamil made 3 professional appearances for England. But 6 of them in total. 3 friendlies and 3 competitive. One out of
what's the rule on?
Usually the rule states that
you can't make
more than 3.
Yes, both of them are still within that. Then Fika definitely
it's just 1.
Yeah, he made just 1. So we don't know.
Abraham has not made up to 3 competitive appearances for them.
Even if Tammy is not qualified, but Fikayo should qualify because Fikayo made them an appearance. I think it was a friendly match or so. So it's good to go.
I don't know for them if they still like to come back, but I don't know. They are really accepting.
There's a question of whether Nigeria should accept that.
I like to forgive them. They are ready to come back. But it's not that Nigeria is second choice or a donkey side whenever you are rejected by your first choice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lucy. Hello. Oh, all right, keep the calls coming. We are counting down to the big fight coming up this weekend between the 2 fighters who have won Olympic gold. But Tessin Frisco promoter Frank Warren said he's confident that all British undisputed heavyweight title will Joshua will happen. We just hope that fight will come to light. Hello.
Hello, good evening, Sport Maestro.
Good evening, Dan Chassis.
Yeah. Okay, good evening.
No.
Yeah, CJ Maestro, good evening. I think it's a bad day for Super Falcon yesterday, although it's a leading edition, but at least not the
Hello?
Okay. Because what do you say? I think the good one, they have a match to play that they did in Ghana, so they should take this one as a preparation. But no, they can't take this kind of disgrace away. After Chelsea tonight, I think I read them all the way. They should try and win first time. They are beating them alone in the league, or at least even in a different league. So they should not write them off and maybe they can beat them. Maybe our first time, and then we start down now. Maybe our team will use second 11. They play the Makorai, the system of every League Cup, a cup game. So I read them all the way. And as for Ronaldo and Messi, I think it's a good one, but I'm seeing they're running only this year and next year. For next year. Even like this ending like this year, I don't see Ronaldo and the next.
let's see how it is in Poland. Hello. Hey, Madrid has arrived. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. Let me just recommend the sound. It's very clear, no interference.
Okay.
Very clear.
Yeah, we keep telling you that we are working on. Luckily, we've been able to resolve that problem. That's why you can even call us on different lines now.
Yes, we have to comment to you and every stable.
Thank you.
Super Falcons are always surprised because it seems you have a part-time coach. That's what I've seen. I heard the CBD has already left for Europe last night. So when you have a part-time coach, things like this will happen. Because South Africa is not a match for the Super Falcons that I knew. So just for us to sit down, go back to the drawing board. If there is still a drawing board, even if there's a drawing board, you don't know if there's this. So that you can put this in place and then bounce back. In the recent time, we have been struggling. For Barcelona, I don't know what they were thinking when they employed a dead ball specialist to be a coach. We should cope with the situation. Like I said one time, Kuma that I knew in the mid-90s, early 90s, the mid-90s, was a fantastic dead ball specialist. Other than that, he's a legend of that of Barcelona.
Yeah, he played for Barcelona.
No, he's a legend in the club. Just like someone like Pat Lampard.
Madrid, was he not doing well when they went to appoint him? He was the manager of the Netherlands and he was doing well. So, is it his fault that Barca, they are not having the stars they used to come out? Now they are having a young boys?
Maybe we should put it this way. He's coaching Barcelona at the wrong time.
The bulk of the players which Pep Guardiola raised, most of them were not superstars as at the time he came there. As at the time he came there, somebody like Xavi Hernandez, he was just upcoming. He saw a stalwart player in Antonio and gave the opportunity to Lionel Messi just coming up. So this thing is in you. Kuma, I don't see him as that type of manager. He's still upcoming. He's not good enough. Anyway, if he remains there, Real Madrid will decimate them. I don't know if I should call it El Clasico now. I should call it Real Clasico. So Real Madrid will decimate them and away and take the trophy without any contention or any contest. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madrid. Let's look at the messages.
The stadium that hosted the ABC, that's the National Barrel Cup, was a wonderful. That's the former Unicon Stadium and the Mobadale Bank. I hope, Mobadale Johnson. I hope we get more of that so we can host even bigger tournaments, and also hope the ABC continues hiring from satellite Delta states. Good evening, Mr. Ibrahim, Mr. Agosa, the maestro. Now I don't see Barca sacking command because he is trying to rebuild the club. He could bring quality players for them and do Kanu. Okay. Good PM, Mugabe Ibrahim Agosa and the Snow Talking CJ Maestro. It's quite disappointing that our darling Super Falcons lost to South Africa. I wish them better luck next time. I wish our darling Eloquent victory all the way when Betsy Obaseki Women's Football Tournament kicks off. I advised my mentor AJ to box Usyk like he did against the Ruiz too. And I pray he wins the bout. Good footwork while constantly throwing his jab will help him win the fight. All the best to Anthony Joshua. I am the king of the boxing ring, Israel from Wasota. Good evening, sportsmen. It wasn't what I expected, but they did make good account of themselves. Talking of the Super Falcons, I do hope strongly that they come back stronger in the AFCON qualifiers. I wish my team, Real Madrid, all the best in their game later tonight. Lastly, I hope Anthony Joshua will remain calm and show superiority when he faces Alexander Usyk come Saturday. Thanks. My name is Ambitious JP. Barcelona needs to sack Ronald Koeman. He does not suit Barca. He lacks the quality as a coach. Chelsea have been impressive. Okay, your message is incomplete. It's time for us to come back home to look for our own coach, both the boys and the girls, because the last AFCON we won was by Nigerian coach CNFF and its members better do some things. Okay, Sunday from Sapele Road. CR7 will play today. Are you asking a question or telling us? Nigeria should not become like Maiva and Arsenal who are using their past glory to overshadow others. What did Man City play yesterday? And when are Chelsea playing? Gabriel from Okobayi. Man City won and 6-1 now. Chelsea are playing later today. Weatherman of Sports, this is an eye-opener. Let's start now to work on the team ahead of the Nations Cup. We have the resources. As for me, I prefer local coaches to the foreign coaches. Ike from Uselu. And finally, good evening, Sports Club. You listed the top 10 earners. Why is Andres Iniesta still among them? I thought he's retired from Dike the Prince from Upper Sabon. No, he's still playing. He plays in Japanese Kobe, Kobe in Japan. He's still playing. He has not retired. So you may not be hearing about him, but he's still active. Those are the messages.
Okay, I think this is where we have to draw the curtain. For Everton's James Rodriguez, I can tell you right now, he has joined Qatari Stars side, Al Riyadh, for an undisclosed fee. That's just breaking. It's no longer with the Goodison outfit. Alright guys, this is the much we can take on the show. Many thanks to you guys for being part of the show, for those of you that called in, and for those of you that sent your messages. To my strike partners, I want to say a big thank you to you guys. My name is Ewo Simon, I'm Sports Maestro. See you guys tomorrow at 8 a.m. Until then, have a wonderful